Hello, hello! It's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday night stamp therapy. Look what arrived at my house. Can you see what this is? It's kind of heavier than I thought it was going to be. Very sturdy. And apparently my camera needs to go a whole lot higher so that you can see what's going on here. I did a Demonstrator pre-order. This is not... Maybe I'm not going to be able to move my camera up. Oh, here we go. I did a Demonstrator pre-order of the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And it arrived today. Yay! Hold on. I feel like I gotta make just a quick adjustment. I feel like my camera stand is gonna tilt over. All right, so this is, it appears in this catalog. However, right now, what is today? Thursday, August 6th is today's date. And so right now, this is not available for everybody, but demonstrators can pre-order. And the new Stampin' Cut Emboss machine will be available for everyone starting September 1st. So very, very soon, you'll be able to get your new machine. I know a lot of you are waiting for the mini machine, and there is still not a release date on the mini machine yet. I was coming back here to see if there was a picture of it somewhere. There's a big machine and then a mini machine. And so the mini machine is going to be really great if you like to take your big shot. Oh my gosh, that's gonna happen. The die cutting machine, I have to stop calling it the big shot, but I've been using a big shot for so long that it's gonna take me some practice to not call it the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, or as I've heard some people call it, the Boss. So that I just got the Boss because it's an emboss machine. I kept hearing people say that, and I was like, well, that's a funny name, but no, that totally makes sense. Say hi when you pop on, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. Tonight I have two main projects I'm going to share with you, and then some quick and easy cards and envelopes. I'm using stuff from the August to December 2020 mini catalog that just came out this week. Did yours come in the mail? My demonstrator copy arrived yesterday. 5 weeks is what it took to arrive via bulk mail, but I sent all my customers copies via first class mail. So hopefully you guys all got your catalogs okay. If you are not shopping with another demonstrator and you'd like a copy of the catalog, I'd be happy to send you one. So just leave me a comment so we can connect. But I'm so glad that you guys are all here tonight. Tell me what you're doing. Tell me what's up. Have you placed an order from the new catalog yet? If not, what are you excited to order? What are you excited to get? I'm not going to walk through all the catalog and show you everything tonight. I've done that at different times, and if you haven't seen that video, I'm happy to show it to you. Tonight, we're just going to focus on this couple projects, and I'm opening this for the first time. This is the plates and accessories that come with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So there's a quick start guide with words in lots of languages, French and German. Here's a diagram, that's good. So the handle did come in pieces, and I put that together, and it's just so sleek and beautiful. Like I said, it is a little bit heavier than I expected it to be, which isn't a bad thing. I like that it is so heavy duty, and I feel like it's it's going to be the boss. It's going to get the job done. It has two sides that fold up. So if you are storing it on your shelf, it doesn't take up too much room. It fits in a nice little space. You can keep it on your desk even, and then fold it down when you need it. So this is the platform, and then you'd have the plates and the bases that go through. And I love that everything is labeled. Do you see this? We've got numbers. So it says this is not a cutting surface. Let's see, what is number 4? Number 4 is the pad that you're going to use with 3D embossing folders. Okay, so you're going to use the base and then the folder, and then number 4. And it just says it right there. So like, I don't even have to think about it. Little tissue paper here. We've got 2 cutting pads that are labeled number 3s. So we got 2 number 3s. And then this is, it says place die cutting edge down. Do not use with embossing folders. So this is like a shim for framelits, right? So use with thin dies is what it says. Okay, so if we had a framelit, we would make our sandwich like this with the platform, and then our, does this have a name? I feel a thin die adapter, I feel like is the right name. And then we're gonna have a plate, and then our sandwich with the cardstock and the thinlet and the other plate, and then we send it through. So today's projects are going to use this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine so that you can see it in person. Right now this is just a test run. There's actually nothing in there, but you can see it's beautiful. So let's make something, shall we? Our first project is going to use, let me find it in a catalog here. You know what, I have to say, I participated in a few swaps and it really changed my mind on some product. I wasn't going to get things, and then I got some swaps and they were amazing and I just had to. Okay, hold on. Pam says, what do you use with regular embossing folders? Okay, so with the regular embossing folders, you would use the platform. So it says right here, use with standard embossing folders. It's going to be the platform number 1, and then you're going to use one cutting plate, the standard embossing folder with the cardstock inside, and then the other cutting plate like that. I think we're actually going to do that tonight as well. So we have 3D embossing folders is the platform and number 4. Standard embossing folders is the platform and 2 number 3s. And then the thin dies, you're going to use the adapter and the plates, and it's all spelled out right there. So if you forget, you just look at your plates. How awesome is that? Okay, so the first bundle we're using tonight is this Love of Leaves, and I honestly, it didn't really do much for me. I thought that the stamps are okay, but it's the dies. Guys, it's the dies that sold me on it. And I'm going to show you, before I make my card, I'm going to show you some of the swap cards that I got from other demonstrators. And this is what convinced me that I needed this for myself. So these are all the cards I have. They're all made by other demonstrators, so I'm going to identify each one. This one is by Deb Schneider, and you can see some of the detail here. We have like these stitched veins on the leaves, and they just add such a beautiful detail to the card. Here is a card by Rayanne Littrell, and she kind of copied from the catalog just the idea with the plaid behind it. But look at the stitched outline. When you cut out these leaves, you get a stitched outline in the negative piece. So you're going to be able to use not only the thing that you cut out, but then the negative space that's left behind. Here's a card by Kim Peck, and you can see on Kim's card she's got these lines, and this is one of the dies in the set too, is it creates these awesome lines, and then you can do the stamped image and die cut the outline and then add the little veins. I'm going to show you how to do that. This one really simple. This card, oh, it doesn't have a name on it. Maybe it's on the inside. Let's take a look. Nope. But it does have a pocket. Look at that. That's a fun card. I wish I could give somebody credit for that. This one is by Diana Gibbs, and she used that negative space just like Rayanne did. I love how it just is so pretty. She also embossed that piece with the Tasteful Textures embossing folder. Love this card by Brandy Barnard. She has a little bit of the plaid paper back there and just die cut that from the Cajun Craze cardstock. Such a simple, beautiful card. I'm definitely casing this one. All right, next card is by Laura Bardo, and she combined the negative also with some leaves that are die cut and some of this beautiful gilded autumn designer paper. So pretty. Oh, Margaret Van Villay made this one, and you can see those beautiful stitched dies. So these are the cards that inspired me, and I put it on my order and it came today, and I just had to make a card. This one's by Joyce Ferracco, and again, just making such beautiful use of the designer paper and the stitched dies. Last one by Eva D. Piazza, and I love the colors. I love these colors. She's got Cajun Craze, pumpkin pie, crushed curry, and some blackberry bliss in there. Oh my gosh, I'm ready for fall. Don't these just make you want to sit by like a little bonfire with a sweatshirt and like a hot cup of something, cider, and make s'mores, or just sit out by the fire? Oh my gosh, I love it. We've had some beautiful weather actually here in Illinois, so I can't complain. It has almost felt like fall. Let's make a card. Let's make a fall-inspired card. Here is the stamp set, Love of Leaves. This is a photopolymer stamp set. And then check out these dies. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, this is the reason I bought this set. So here's the big one that does the detail. And then for all the leaves, there's 2 dies. There is, ooh, it's stuck on that tape really good. There is the outline, and then there's the stitched part. So you can die cut your leaf by itself, or you can die cut it and add the stitched accent. You can do that on plain colored cardstock, or you can stamp first. So we're gonna do some stamping and then some die cutting and pull it all together to make a card. So let's get our pieces out. I've pre-cut some pieces. This card was inspired by the layout. I give my team a card layout challenge, just like we do a color challenge on the Share and Connect group. And so every other week I do a layout challenge. So this layout is the layout that I gave my team as the challenge last weekend, and I didn't get a chance to make a card. So this is my card. It's a little bit late, but you know what? It doesn't matter. It's my challenge. All right, so for the thin dies, we're going to do the platform, and then we're going to do the 2 cutting plates. So we're going to put one down, and this is pretty standard with any die cutting machine. You have your platform, you have your cutting plates, and then the die, and I do mine with the die face down, and then what am I missing? Oh, the thin die adapter. That's what I'm missing. So let's slide that back out. Slide this on. There we go. And now we're going to crank it through. Oh my gosh, it's so smooth. Oh, isn't that a cool detail? I don't think we've ever had a die quite like this. I love all the stitch lines. Instant background, super, super cool. Okay, so now the next one we're going to stamp first. So let's stamp. We're going to stamp in Cajun Craze, 1 leaf. And then we're going to stamp in Mint Macaron, the other leaf. Now there are going to be some additional accessories that are available for this Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, including a magnetic platform, or a magnetic plate, I think it is. But those are not available quite yet. So while we're here, let's go ahead and just do this other stamping. I don't think they've given us a release date on those other accessory items, so stay tuned. You know what, I'm going to try that again. I feel like that was just a little bit uneven. A little better there. And then, so this piece is just going to go on the inside. So I'm just stamping some extra leaves. I'm trying to be better about stamping on the inside of my cards. Do you guys stamp on the inside of your cards? Sometimes it can be kind of like an afterthought and I just forget about it. So I'm trying to do it more. Yes, yes, yes. The stitch die is amazing. Oh, oh, I'm sorry if I'm adding things to your wish list. Sorry, not sorry. That's my job, is to show you how amazing all these things are, because sometimes the catalog just doesn't do it justice. So we're going to line up these dies on each image, and then I want to add that beautiful stitched detail. So I'm going to, doesn't this green leaf look like a heart? I feel like I could totally make some valentines with that stamp and come up with another use. Okay, so the stitch is going to go on inside, and you can do it all at the same time. So it just fits inside, And I am having trouble. You could use like a sticky note to hold the dies down in place, but I'm just gonna call it good enough. It doesn't have to be totally perfect. I'm gonna send that through. Look how clean that plate is. Oh, I love it. So smooth. Oh my gosh, this machine is really awesome. I'm so glad to get it too, because my other die cutting machine is, I feel like, on its last legs. Like, I keep telling my son, who does a lot of my die cutting, you have to be gentle. Don't break it. Look at the outline. Gosh, it's just so pretty. I feel like I want to just like cover this whole thing with leaves and then put like plaid cardstock behind it. That would be a really fun background. I'm going to save that idea for next time. Okay, I think we're done with the machine for now. I'm just going to set it aside. Let's bring in our card pieces and assemble our card. Oh, I had a little ribbon maybe I was thinking about adding. So let's get, where's my seal? Here it is. Oh, so we're going to add crumb cake. That's what color this is. Crumb cake cardstock on the front. The crumb cake cardstock is 3.5 by 4 3/4. And I just like the border that it gives you around the card. Just a little bit thicker of a border. And then this is going to go on the inside. Because again, we don't want to leave our insides blank. So pretty. Oh, we need to stamp the sentiment for the outside. This mint macaron cardstock is 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, it's kind of got like a little, I rocked it, pushed too hard. There we go, that's better. So the colors I chose, Early Espresso, Cajun Craze, and Mint Macaron, are from the Gilded Autumn designer paper. I just took my color inspiration from the paper. I do that a lot. Like sometimes when I'm trying to come up with, colors, I look at the designer paper and I just use the color combinations that Stampin' Up! Has come with, because they are experts. The team that they have that are creating products and coming up with new ideas, they are, you know, staying up on all the trends, and they've got all the resources to really do amazing things. So I trust their professional color stories and just go with that. All right, I cut some of these ahead of time so that I would have some, I wouldn't have to do them all with you. And so I'm just going to cascade my leaves down the, that needs to go this way. So this one needs to go that way. Now I have a rule about always doing things in odd numbers, right? Like we talked about that before. But I feel like there's not enough room on this card for odd numbers. Where would I put number 5? Doesn't it just feel... I feel like it's full like this, don't you think? Do you think it needs a number 5? Or do you think it's okay as is? I just feel like it's too busy. So the card layout for my team was having a background piece and then a skinny strip for the words and then just some cascading elements. Trying to look back at your comments. Sometimes I'm sorry, it's hard for me to watch. So if I miss a comment or a question, I promise that I'll catch it next time and look afterwards. All right, so Andrea likes 4. Lynn says no. You don't think it looks okay with 4? Like it needs another one? Maybe if it was a different color, if I had another leaf like that. But this is the smallest leaf in this set, so it's kind of hard to do 5 4 is good, says Sylvia. Carmen likes it as is. Andrea says maybe an extra one on the envelope. So inside there are 2 more. So 4 and 2, that's still, that's still not the right number, is it? I don't know. Maybe this is just going to be an even numbered card. Why don't they do the color chart anymore? In the catalog, you mean, Sharon? I'm not sure. I think they were trying to save space and, you know, put more product in, but I'm missing that color chart too. I gave them some feedback, and hopefully it'll be in the next one. Big swig. All right, so I think we're going to stick with 4. Yeah, okay, you guys agree. So, speaking of the envelope, I decided to use that stitch die to coordinate my envelope. That's something that I really don't do enough of, is making envelopes to match my cards. So you know what, we've got the stamps out, let's add some stamped leaves as well. So we'll have some stamped leaves on one side, and then we'll have the stitched flap on the other side. Okay, so stamped leaves, and then that stitched envelope flap. Ready to go. Yes, isn't that fun? You know, here's the thing is I usually make cards and then I send them later. So that's why I don't think about the envelopes. But I could stamp or customize the envelopes at the same time and then just keep them together with the cards. And then I wouldn't have any excuse, and then it would match and it would be great. So I'm working on it. Insides first and then envelopes. I'll get there. All right, so that's the first card. Let me move some things out of the way. Oh, I was going to add... Oh, man. I forgot I was going to put a bit of ribbon on it. So I have this faux suede early espresso ribbon. And so on my sample, I added just a little piece of ribbon there. And I do think I like it with the ribbon. Don't you guys think so? I feel like the ribbon just kind of ties the early espresso back in to the card. So let's just go ahead and cut a little piece. And let's see if we can just add that on there. It's never a video with Julie unless she tears apart a card. All right, so we're gonna just put that across and add, yeah, be a little higher. Better, don't you think? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, goodness. Okay, love the way that turned out. So this is the Love of Leaves stamp set. I'm going to leave one out so that we can preview at the end of the video and show what we did. Put this over here. Okay, so I was reminded about how fun it is to dress up envelopes by Janet Castro. Thank you, Janet. Janet responded to one of my posts this afternoon, and I said, what do you guys want to see today? Because I did not have a plan until an hour ago. Like, I'm not lying, an hour and a half maybe. What time is it? So Janet said she wanted to see embossing folders, she wanted to see heat embossing, and she wanted to see ways to decorate envelopes. So Janet is going to get my card tonight. I know I don't normally do this. Usually I do like a random drawing, but since Janet was my inspiration tonight, I'm going to send Janet the next card that I'm making. If you're watching, Janet, are you watching? Leave a comment and let me know if you're excited about getting your card. All right, let's bring up the other stuff. So for the next card, we're going to go forward in our seasons a little bit, and we're going to use another favorite suite, the Snowflake Splendor. I know it's so silly to be buying snowflakes and winter stuff in the middle of the summer, but I just love everything about this. I love the gorgeous paper. I love the embossing folder. The dies are really cool. The glimmer paper, the adhesive back gems, the ribbon. It And it makes me feel cool in this hot summer to be stamping with snowflakes. So, okay, Snowflake Wishes is the stamp set that we're using, and I want to share with you some samples, because of course I have some samples, and then we're going to make a really cool card with heat embossing and an embossing folder technique that I think you guys are really going to love. Okay, so the first card is one that I made. In fact, I was finishing this up at 7 o'clock tonight, right before we started, and I had already die cut this beautiful framelit, or this beautiful frame. This is part of the die set that goes with the snowflakes, and it's really cool. So you get a lot of great dies in this snowflake set, but here's this one. So it cuts like just into, like, it doesn't completely cut it out. It cuts a frame, but it leaves these partial snowflakes. And so I cut out the frame and I added some little sparkles and I heat embossed the sentiment on the designer paper and I glued it down to this card base. And this is literally at 7:08 at this point. Okay, guys, so like I'm scrambling. I glue it all down and then I realize it's upside down. I glued it upside down. Unfortunately, I don't think that's coming off. So I'm going to either have to send it to somebody who enjoys a good joke, or I'm probably just going to cut on the cardstock and put it on another card base. Anyway, I love the front, even if I did mess up the card. And these dies are so amazing. So let me share some more samples with you, and then we're going to make a card. So these are all swap cards, most of them. So I'm going to let you know who made the card. So this first one is by Becky Badia, and she's got the embossing folder, the glimmer, snowflakes, the ribbon, the gems. Like, she just put it all on there. I love everything about it. This next one is by Jenny Miller. Jenny, are you watching tonight? I love this card. So pretty with the paper. And again, the glitter snowflakes, a little sponging here. This just feels so like, so chilly, right? Like a frosted window. This next card does not have a name on it. This was from our team swap that we just did. And I wish I could give credit, so I'm not sure who made that one. But this is the frame again, and then they added some additional die cuts on top. This card is by Laura Burkett. She's also on our team. We have a very large, like, you would say extended family. So Laura would be like my niece. You know, if we were a family tree, Laura would be my niece. So she is under my sideline, and but we have this just gigantic group, and we do swaps together, and we do all kinds of stuff together. I just love it. So Laura also used everything from the suite: the stamp set, the embossing folder, the paper, the ribbon, and the little faceted gems, the glitter paper. She's got it all on this beautiful card. I have to open up this one. This is really fun. This is by Gwen Duckworth, and this is kind of a fun fold. So Gwen has this flap. Okay, so it kind of tucks in under here, and then there's a label on the front, and this tucks underneath the label, and so that holds it closed. Isn't that cool? I thought this card was really neat, and I just love the simplicity of the colors. We've got Pool Party and Whisper White, and it's so perfect. I just love everything about it. All right, this card was one that we made last week. If you tuned in for Thursday Night Stamp Therapy, this was our Stamp Along card. So the double flap card. And I had a little boo-boo with the Wink Estella, so I just did some extra splatters. But I love the way that one turned out. And so I'm using this color combination again because I love it so much. This is Misty Moonlight and Seaside Spray. Little sequins in there as well. And then here is a double Z-fold card. So we made this one. We made a double Z-fold card in another Thursday Night Live, and then afterwards I made a snowflake version. So here's the one that I made. I did the embossing folder in the background, a little bit of the designer paper, and then the colors here are Pacific Point, Balmy Blue, and Highland Heather. I love the little bits of purple in with the snowflakes. Do you guys like purple for your snowflakes in your winter cards? I'm definitely coming around to adding that into the with the blues, and I think it's the designer paper like this that helps me feel confident in including some of those purple colors. All right, are you ready for the special card we're going to make tonight? Yay! I thought so. Let's set these cards aside and get out our supplies. So, Janet, did Janet say hello? Is she here? Are you watching, Janet? Let me scroll back up and see. Oh, thank you, Margot. That swap card I didn't have a name for. Margot says she thinks that one is Faye's. Faye Colwell. I did 10 cards like that one last year. Upside down made me laugh. Yes, it would be a good April Fool's Day card, especially since it's Christmas. I'm looking to see if Janet Castro has said hello yet. Is she here? Did I miss her comment? There, yes, Janet, I see your comment. Yay. Okay, so, so Janet wanted to see embossing folder techniques. So that's what we're going to do. And here's another way you can dress up your folders. Before I got my embossing folder inky, I used it to emboss the flap of my envelope. Isn't that pretty? Does that odd fold card have a name? I don't think so. It's just kind of like a, no, it's just kind of got flaps, but you could call it a double flap card, but I don't know that it has a name, and I don't know how well we can see this, but like this piece here, so there's an inside white piece, and then the piece that's here is scored, and there's just a little bit of it that's underneath the white, so it just enough to hold it in there, and then it folds this way. So I'll have to make a card something like this next time so that you guys can see how it all goes together. All right, so I embossed the envelope. What a really quick and easy way to dress up your envelopes. How pretty is that? Wouldn't you just love to get a card that had an embossed flap? So we use the embossing folder for that. We're gonna do a technique with it. And this technique was inspired, I've done it before, but it inspired me to do it again because I got this swap card. Now I'm going to show you the technique and then I'll show you the swap card, which I actually think is cased from the catalog, so we'll have to pull that back out. So this is the technique where you put your ink on the embossing folder. So this is a standard embossing folder, and an embossing folder has a raised edge and then like an indented side. So this side has the raised snowflakes, and this side, I know it's hard to see, the snowflakes are like there's just holes. So we're going to take the ink pad. This again is Seaside Spray, and I'm just going direct to the embossing folder. So I'm just putting the ink pad directly on the embossing folder, and then I'm going to put my cardstock inside and fold the embossing folder, and now we're going to run it through the embossing machine just like we normally would. So this part is not, it's not tricky. We're going to use the platform and then the cutting pad, the embossing folder, and the other cutting plates, and send it through. Are you ready to see what it looks like? I'm gonna move this down. Oops. Let's get this out of the way really quick. Okay, are you ready? Woo! Here's the reveal. We open it up. And look how pretty. So by the way, you have an inky embossing folder. The best way is just to take this to the sink and run it under the sink and clean it off that way. Let me put that aside so I don't get anything inky. And so you see here we have these raised images and they're white. So the ink goes on the surface of the embossing folder and it doesn't go into the crevices. So the crevices stay white and we just have the ink kind of where the flat part of the embossing folder was. Isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I love it, love it, love it so much. So we're gonna put this on a piece of Seaside Spray cardstock. Oops, that's wrong adhesive. Where's my new one? My desk isn't that messy. What did I do with the adhesive? Have you guys seen it? It disappeared. Well, oh, there it is. It was under another one. So this is going to go on Seaside Spray cardstock. So the white cardstock on this card was 3.5 by 4 3/4, and then the layer was 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to put this on Misty Moonlight. And then for the inside, we've got to match on the inside and have something cute. So inside sentiment, and then I have some snowflakes. And the next thing for the front we're going to do is the embossing. Have you guys done heat embossing before? I am kind of a lazy stamper, so I don't do heat embossing a lot, but it's always so pretty. Deanna, this is Misty Moonlight, and then the light blue was Seaside Spray. Those are the two colors we used on this one. So we're going to do some heat embossing. For this technique, I like to use the Versamark. This is a watermark ink pad, and it is just kind of a thicker ink that stays wet longer, making it easier to emboss. So we're going to emboss the sentiment. It says, "May your season sparkle." And so that goes on the cardstock. You can do this on any color. I'm choosing to do it on white right now, but you could do this on a dark cardstock, would be really pretty as well. And then you put on the embossing powder. So this is silver, and you can be as generous as you want, because then you're gonna funnel it back into the jar. Now I have to show you the label on this jar because I've been a demonstrator for 18 years, and this is still my original sterling silver embossing, or one of my originals. Look, that is such an old label. I don't think there's a year on there. No, but it goes a long way. Now the jars are a little bit shorter, but still your embossing folder, or your embossing powder, is going to last a long time. So you got the powder, you tap off the extra, so you have now this powder is sticking to the wet ink, the Versamark ink, and then we're going to use the heat tool. Now, let me just get it on. It's all caught up here. So the heat tool is available in our annual catalog in the online store. It has 2 settings, 1, 2. It creates a very focused hot heat air that is going to melt the embossing folder, or embossing powder. So as I emboss, you're going to see this dull powder turn shiny and melt. So as soon as it is melted, then you know you're done. So I'm going to turn it on and emboss. I just kind of wave it back and forth, keep it over the image. I've also seen people do it from underneath, and I don't know that it necessarily matters. So you can see, look at that, it gets sparkly, and you can see that embossing folder, powder melts. And so when it's all melted, you know you're done. And it does get really hot. So sometimes if you have like a pair of tweezers or something to hold the cardstock so that you don't burn your fingers, that can be very helpful. All right, now through the magic of TV, because I'm done embossing in front of you, I used the stitched nested label die to die cut my embossed sentiment. And so this is going to go on the front of the card. I have the Misty Moonlight ribbon, and I'm going to just kind of create like a zigzag with the ribbon. So I've cut a long kind of piece, and we'll do some adhesive on the back of the label. Oh, it was kind of really long, wasn't it? Heat embossing was what attracted, Patricia says, heat embossing was what attracted me to the craft 20 plus years ago, but I don't do it as much now as I did in the past. You know, I think it was the same for me. In fact, I actually used to emboss as a little girl. I had some rubber stamps, and I used to emboss. I think I've told this story before. I used to emboss over the toaster. We would keep putting the same piece of bread down and use the heat from the toaster to melt the powder. And that was maybe around the time that Stampin' Up! Was getting started, but I certainly didn't know about Stampin' Up! Back then. I just had some different stamps from different stores, and I found Stampin' Up! 20 years later, and have loved all kinds of things. And I think maybe the reason I don't emboss as much anymore is because there's so many other techniques and tools and gadgets. Like when I first started stamping, and Patricia too, if you started stamping 20 years ago, we didn't have like the die cutting machines and the embossing folders. And so embossing your image was kind of like a big way that you would dress up your card. And now we have all kinds of other techniques and things that we do. So I think maybe that's why I don't do it as much, and maybe you as well, Patricia. Okay, so I got the ribbon kind of zigzagged back there, and then I'm going to put it on the card with Stampin' Dimensionals. So this card in its steps is kind of easy. We've done the background, we've done the sentiment, we've added some ribbon, and then we're going to add some of the blue adhesive back gems just to pretty it up a little more. Diana, you used a toaster too? Oh, a light bulb. Oh my goodness. I'm seriously surprised that I never started a fire. It was my grandmother who gave me the embossing powder. And I don't think my mom really like knew what it was. Like, you know, that like she knew I had it, but I don't think she really like knew what I was doing with it. We used to have some really beautiful stamps that we used to create with and emboss. Okay, I'm going to do an odd number here. I know we did an even number earlier, but an odd number of sparkles, 5. I've got 2 up top and 3 down below. So what do you think, Janet? I put all of those things into one card just for you. I'll be sending you this card with the embossed envelope. So a way to dress up your envelopes, an embossing folder technique, and heat embossing. We got it all right in here. Are you guys ready to see this card, this swap card? I have to show you this. It is so beautiful. So here's the card. This is by Anna Masternack. She's a team member of mine down in Florida. She used the Evergreen embossing folder, and she used Highland Heather. So she did the same sort of technique where she did the ink on, let's see, there's a raised part and then sort of the not raised part. So she did it on the side and then put the cardstock in and send it through, and she's got the nativity on there too. Isn't that just beautiful? It makes those trees just pop. And I think, like I said, I'm pretty sure that this was a technique that they showed in the catalog. So I'm gonna try to find it really quick. Probably getting close. Yeah, well, not really. I guess it's a little bit different. It reminds me of this card, but it's not the technique with... This is embossing the cardstock and then coloring the cardstock. And for this one, Anna did exactly what I did, was to ink the embossing folder and then put the cardstock through. If you're looking for the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder, it's on page 35 of the mini catalog. And yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous card. That new stamp set with the nativity is... Let's see if I can find that back here really quick. It's called Peaceful Nativity. It's on page 17. That's a really pretty card too, with the first frost, or feels like frost paper. Okay, what do you guys think of that one? Did you love it? Oh, I'm trying to catch up on all your comments. I'm sorry. I will respond later if I miss something. Deanna says, I've never tried the folders. I might have to try one of those. Yes, the embossing folders are so pretty, and they're such a great way to add texture to your card. This is just on the other side of my desk, but I showed this card last time, I think. So whether it's like just in the background, adding some texture to your card, or whether it is like, you know, the focal element, like this background piece is really kind of the main show. Embossing folders really are fun, and especially, like I said, just do a little flap like that on your folder. We need to add some snowflakes to the front. Although your postal carrier is probably going to be like, why are there snowflakes in the summertime? To keep us cool, that's why. All right, are you guys ready for one more project? I have to tell you, my throat is so dry tonight. Let's take a quick sip. How about a quick commercial too? I want to tell you about my product share. If you haven't seen this yet, I will include the link in the description if you want to sign up. But my orders just came today. So if you signed up for the product share, I will be cutting paper and winding ribbon and all of this in the next 48 hours, getting them sent off. And it includes all the paper from the mini catalog. So 6x6 pieces of everything. Every paper, every specialty paper, every designer paper from the mini catalog. That's a big stack. You also get a yard of every ribbon. And then you get some of these cool mosaic cello bags and a sampling of all of the embellishments. So we've got the blue adhesive gems, we've got some snowflake sequins, the iridescent pearls, the really pretty pearls to go inside the middle of the poinsettias, some of the acorns and the stars and the wonderful gems, all included in the product share. So make sure to look for that link and sign up for the product share. It's not too late to get yours. Okay, commercial over. Whew, I have to say, these cards were a little more involved. If you are kind of an easy, simple crafter, you're going to really love this next thing. So in the front of the mini catalog, we've got some really great kits. Oh my gosh, I have to show you this one. I wasn't going to, hold on. I wasn't going to get this, but after seeing my mom's kit when I was at her house, I thought, oh my gosh, this is really amazing. So this kit, just like others, comes with instructions, comes with full color pictures. So there are 6 different tags, but look at this gorgeousness. First of all, these tags are really awesome quality. Like, they're really thick cardstock. They're heavy duty. The white pieces all have laser cut as well as gold foil. So there's 3, I think, different ones. There's the oval and the layer, and then the stars. So you've got lots and lots. That makes 30 tags. And then these also have holes. All of them do. And there are 5 different designs here. And so these are beautiful. Each one having 6 patterns, each one having the gold foil accent, and again, very like heavy duty, very sturdy. You get some gold twine, and then I love these. This might be my favorite part. These die cuts, and each one again has the gold foil. So we've got trees, ornaments, stockings, banners to stamp the greetings on. presents, the holly, and then the little cardinal. So you can, there are 5, I believe, of each image, and then the banners and 5 of each tag. But I was so impressed with this kit. I had to show it to you really quick. I haven't had a chance to make any projects with it, but I think for sure, like, I could turn these into cards, like, and even use them on different cards, like lots of great elements. And look at the box to boot. It's such a cute little box. This is smaller than a paper pumpkin box, and it is double-sided. Like, it's got red on the inside and the holly on the outside. It comes wrapped, so there is no marking, no sticker whatsoever on the box, so you can reuse this for gift giving this holiday season. So we've got the card kit over here where you can put your pictures on it, or you can just dress it up. We've got the tag kit. There's this is returning the Christmas countdown calendar kit. You can order these. So this is from last year and they brought it back. So really great kit. I didn't bring mine upstairs yet. It's still downstairs with the Christmas things, but it's really awesome quality too. Like, I think if you are looking for a countdown calendar, an advent calendar, you're going to love it. But look at all these other ways you can use them. You can create a storage bin to hold small trinkets or jewelry, or you can do another countdown like for Halloween or birthday. So lots of different uses for that Christmas countdown. And then the product medley. This is back from last year too. It's a returning favorite. This includes designer paper. It includes some die cut things, the trim, the gold stars, and then the stamp set and the coordinating dies. So that's for another video as well. But the thing I wanted to show you is the wonderful time. What is it called? Wonder of the Season. I thought I had the page and then, yeah, Wonder of the Season. So this is like a jumbo suite. It has 2 different suites, and it has this coordinating Memories and More pack and Wonder of the Season cards and envelopes. So they're on page 31. This is what I am showing you next. And again, I wasn't going to get them, and I went to Mom's house and she had them, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so I came home and I ordered them too. So you've got this beautiful, can you see the red foil? So we've got red foil flapped envelopes, and then the cards are white with a red foil border. So you get 20 cards and 20 envelopes, I think. Let me see. Yes, 20 cards and 20 envelopes. And then the Memories and More card pack coordinates, so you can make cards really easily with the Memories and More cards, or you can use the Memories and More cards for pocket memory keeping, or I think I'm going to try to make an advent calendar with it, because look what comes inside. You've got number stickers. So I have this idea, and I haven't fleshed it out yet, but I think I'm going to try to do like an advent calendar. So we have some other die cuts here. You have small cards. These are 3 inches by 4 inches. And this one includes multiples. So you get 5 of each card. So this is a good one if you were like trying to split it up with somebody. I think that would be an easy one to split up. Sending wishes from the North Pole. And then it has another side. May you never be too grown up to search the skies on Christmas Eve. Oh, I love that. And then the 4x6 cards. See, we've got some specialty foil cards. These are one-sided, and there's 2 of each. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, so pretty. Lots of specialty cards. And then we also have some self-adhesive die cuts that are colored. So we have the gold and white, and then some colored self-adhesive die cuts. And the 4x6 cards. Again, there are 5 or 6 of each here. Celebrate the season. Double sides. So I just wanted to show you how quick and easy it would be to make up a card. Now these cards are sized so that they fit the Memories and More cards perfectly. So if you just wanted to glue the big one on there, there's a perfect border around the edges. If you want to put a smaller one on there, then you can do that as well. I thought I saw one I wanted to use. So I'm going to put this on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. It is sticky on the back, but I just want it to pop up a little bit. And I love, so with the Memories and More cards, if you're just wanting like some quick and easy cards, then you can just simply make cards, you know, just stick it on there and make up some quick cards. Or you can dress it up with rhinestones or embellishments or ribbon or all kinds of things. So there's so many different options. And the small ones fit just perfectly inside. Quick and easy, beautiful cards. Wishing you wonder. You know what this one needs is some red rhinestones. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe we'll use the dimensions under this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you think? Are these cards too quick and easy? Do you like quick and easy? What is your style? Are you more involved like the embossing folder technique and going all out? Or do you like things that are maybe a little faster? So there's 2 cards that I made really quick and easy with these Memories and More cards and envelopes. And again, you've got this foil flapped envelope. All right, if you are just joining, you're gonna have to watch the replay because we're all done. Let me bring out the other cards that we made so that you can see. We created some quick and simple cards with the Memories and More. We made a card with the Snowflake embossing folder and kind of did a fun technique there. We also used the, what the heck is this one called? Love of Leaves bundle and created this one with the awesome stitched lines, and we got to check out in person up close the new Stampin' die cut and emboss machine. And just a reminder, that will be available to everyone starting September 1st. If you're a demonstrator, you can pre-order it right now on a demonstrator order. So that's it for me today. Thanks so much for joining and tuning in for Thursday night stamp therapy. Leave me a comment. Let me know which project is your favorite, which is one that you would duplicate at home. Would you do the Memories and More cards or the Snowflake card or the leaves or all 3? Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have any questions that I didn't answer. I will check the comments and get those answered later on tonight. If you're wanting to order from the new mini catalog, you can send me a message or order in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. I would be honored if you ordered from me. And if you spend $40 or more before tax and shipping and after any bonus day coupons that you redeem, then you'll get my August bonus project kit and free gift for free. If you ordered from me in July, I'm working on those kits right now. Watch for them in the mail in the coming week. Have a good night. See you soon.